Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are at the Cloud Expo 2011 in Manhattan. On our program today is Cory Isaacson. He's the CEO and the CTO of CodeFutures DB Shards. Cory, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you, Rich.
So you're here at a cloud show, and I guess we should start right off saying, how does your company fit into the cloud?
Well, basically, one of the biggest problems you have in the cloud as far as scalability goes is the database tier. That tends to be the biggest bottleneck in any application anyway, and in the cloud it's even more of a problem. So we solve that problem.
How?
We have the only transparent database sharding solution. So we basically can take a large database, break it into smaller databases across multiple servers, and make it look completely like one database to the application tier. We keep it reliable, and we can scale it so that we can have our customers grow and have their data needs grow to huge volumes and huge transaction rates.
And what happens if there's a corruption?
If there's a corruption, it's very easy because we actually have 2 copies of every database totally active. And so we can actually take one offline, fix it, bring it back up, switch them, do the same thing with the other one.
Does your solution make the database more or less secure?
The same. I don't think we affect security one way or the other.
So I would think that if I was able to hack into a single server, it might be more difficult for me to figure out what's going on in there if you've got some kind of proprietary encoding.
Yeah, I think it's about the same. I mean, basically you would have to hack into more places with us, is pretty much the way it would work.
Okay, so that might make it a little bit tougher. So maybe more secure slightly.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of the types of companies or the databases you work with, who would those be, or what would those be?
We have companies in all kinds of industries. Mobile applications has been very, very good for us. Believe it or not, online gaming applications have huge database requirements, and they grow at tremendous rates. So we have a tremendous amount of interest with online gaming companies.
Like a Zynga type? Right?
Yes,
those
actually,
like weeds.
yes. One of our biggest customers is Cartown, which is the number 26 Facebook game in the world. So it's doing very, very well. They have over 1 million daily active users, about 8 or 9 million monthly users. So they're very intense.
So basically, it's a more productive use or a more efficient use of cloud-based storage, right? You enable the cloud to be more efficient as a database server.
Yes, but it's not just the storage itself. One of the things you run into with the cloud is what we call the cloud I/O barrier. The cloud I/O is much slower than you typically have in a data center.
Sure.
It's also more fragile, so things can break. So by breaking it into actually multiple database servers, so for instance, if you're using MySQL or Postgres, or we support Oracle DB2, if you're using any of those databases, what happens is we basically have active instances of all of those. Let's say you want 8 shards. We'd have 8 primary instances and 8 secondary instances, so 16 servers active total, all running the database engine. And we basically manage everything to make it look seamless to the application.
Now, in terms of speeding up the database access to the location or to where that data is needed, is there any sort of caching that can be done?
We can use caching also, completely, along with DB shards. It's totally compatible with that, so there's nothing stopping you from doing it. But essentially what happens is we offer a plug-compatible driver that looks just like your native database driver. And so when you use that in your application, our driver knows where all of the information is. So let's say customer 1 is in shard 1, customer 5 is in shard 5, then we actually automatically go and read and write to that shard for you.
Okay. And so one of the challenges, I guess, is, if you just think about this problem, if you've got a single machine and you've got a single database, your challenge is that, number 1, you could outgrow that single server, but number 2, the speed could slow down if you have all of your data on one massive computer.
That's
the
right.
concept here is to use almost like RAID to a large hard disk, right?
That's right.
Rapid array of inexpensive drives, I think, right? Redundant array of inexpensive drives, right? That same kind of concept.
It's that kind of concept, only we do it across servers, and each server has its own independent disks. So that way there's nothing shared between any of the servers at all, so that it scales completely linearly. Linear on writes, and even better than linear when it's reads.
So if I'm watching this video, how do I know if I'm the right size customer to benefit from your solutions?
It's a very easy question to answer. A lot of people see their databases slow down, and when they do slow down, it's a very logarithmic curve. So when you see that exponential curve actually coming into place, you know that you're taxing your database server too much and you have to do something. And so that's how we put it together.
So one of the options, one of the seamless or relatively seamless options is to work with you at that point, and then just you'd have to modify the calls, right? To be your calls as opposed to the database APIs, right?
Actually, you use exactly the same database API. We plug in a plug-compatible driver that looks just like your vendor's driver. So everything is
so
done.
it's really a seamless.
That's right.
Okay, and then in terms of cost, is there a ballpark you could give us in terms?
Yes, basically in the cloud, we actually charge on a monthly basis, and it's about $400 per month per server. And then it goes down in volume to about half of that.
And you could also run this within a data center if you like, right?
Yes.
Similar kind of pricing? Or?
Similar kind of pricing, although people usually license on a subscription by year.
Okay.
So, and included with that is support, monitoring, we do all of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's next for the company? Final question.
We're growing very, very fast, and so we have a ton of new features to add, and we're working hard with all of our new customers, and anyway, it's just going great. So.
Great. Well, thanks for being on the program, Cory.
Thank you.
Awesome to meet you.